So we are witnessing a trade war between two economic giants in real time. The trade relationship between the US and China has hit rock bottom since President Trump's inauguration in January 2025. Dumela Kazi, welcome back to the cafe. Libito la ka KK. If you are new here, welcome. And if you are returning, thank you so much for gracing us with your presence. Well, I haven't been here in a long time, and some of you might have questions, but that is actually not really important. What is important right now? Trade war. Trade war is very important in the whole world. It is very important, and we need to keep up with the whole thing that is happening because we will feel it in our pockets and we will see it when we go to our nearest stores that there is something wrong. So without wasting any more time, let's just quickly get into this video. What began as a 10% additional tariff on Chinese goods in February has rapidly escalated into a full-blown trade war, with the latest US tariff rate reaching a staggering 104% on all Chinese imports. The Liberation Day marks a significant turning point in global trade relations. Before we getting into the actual timeline of events from February till now, I would like you to comment down below on my comment sections. Let me know, who do you think is gonna win the war between China and the United States? Anything that you're thinking, it is important because we are now predicting. We don't have enough resources to know exactly which country between China and the United States, which country is going to win this trade war. Please do take into consider that between the two countries, which is the superpowers, these two countries are superpowers. They are big economies and all of those things. As much as they are fighting or they are just showing muscles to each other, the small countries that are emerging or emerging economies and poor countries are going to suffer, because if China is suffering, some countries will suffer. If the US is suffering, some countries will suffer, because we are all intertwined. We are all connected economically. So something that is unusual, if something unusual happens, a lot of countries will feel the pinch, from your pockets to when you go to the stores and look at and try to find some of your favorite things at the store. You will see the prices, or you might not even get them on the shelves because they are limited due to the trade war. So these are the events that followed the actual 104% that the United States is imposing against China. On the 4th of February, US imposed 10% additional tariff on Chinese goods. So now let's go to the 7th of February. Temporarily tariff exception for Chinese goods worth less than $800. China said, no ways. You know what? It seems like United States, you and I, we need to do this back and forth, because obviously I am powerful, you are powerful. So let's see who is going to win this war. If you throw it, that means you can also take it. On the 10th of February, China hit back with 15% tariffs on US coal and liquefied natural gas exports, plus 10% levy on oil and agricultural equipment, and expanded their blacklist of US entities. The US said, okay, I am the US and I'm going to do my best to give the best blow to you. On the 4th of March, US doubled tariffs on Chinese goods to 20%. Let's go. On the 10th of March, China imposed 10% additional tariff on US soybeans and introduced 10 to 15% tariffs on agricultural imports, including beef, cotton, and pork. Imagine having to pay exorbitant amount for a pork belly. I would just die. On the 2nd of April, the United States said, what the hell is going on, China? Do you think you're gonna give this, or you're just not gonna give it to me? Because what I'm gonna do now, I'm going to make sure that I bury you. On the 2nd of April, Trump unveiled the latest reciprocal tariff policy, hitting all Chinese imports with an extra 34% starting on the 9th of April and cancelling the exception for goods worth less than $800 starting on the 2nd of May, which is next month. On the 4th of April, China said, okay, let me just try to give it to you back as you are the one who is actually perpetuating all this. China announced a restriction of rare earth exports and 34% retaliation tariff on all US goods effective on the 10th of April. Now hell broke loose. On the 9th of April, which is today in South Africa, obviously. In response to Beijing's countermeasures, US slapped on an additional 50% tariffs, taking the blanket rate on all Chinese goods to a jaw-dropping 104%. We are talking about a huge increase. This is crazy. This is crazy to check the markets, how the markets are doing. This is crazy to check what is China doing. And I was thinking to myself, okay, now we've got this 104%. What's going to happen? What is China's backup plan? How much is China connected to the United States economically? Is this going to hurt China to the point that China is going back to where it was before as a growing economy? Because we all know that China is the biggest economy, right? And they come from the pits. They come from the bottom. So is this going to hurt China's economy, or the United States is just bluffing? They did not do their homework when it comes to China. China has been working to reduce its dependency on US trade since Trump's first term, successfully decreasing the share of US exports from 19% in 2018 to under 15% in 2024, based on figures provided by the People's Daily. However, the total value of exports to the US remains substantial at $525 billion, accounting for nearly 3% of China's GDP. Hong Kong exports to the US, which totaled approximately $38 billion in 2024, will also face these reciprocal tariffs, compounding the economic impact on the region. With exports being a critical driver of GDP growth, economists estimate these tariffs could reduce China's annual growth by 1 to 2 percentage points, which is a lot when you think about it. It is a lot. As I said to you, I would like you to tell me down my comment section, what do you think will happen to China's economy, or what do you think will happen to the US economy during this commotion of this trade war that is actually fully fledged at the moment? So in all what is going on, we can see that the economy in the United States as well as the economy in China is shaking. So now the only thing that will help both of these countries is a backup plan. Do they have a proper backup plan, or one thought the other one will back up when they see that things are getting intense? Because I don't think the United States will back up, and also I don't think China will back up, because that will mean it shows how weak China is. It will mean that China will look weak when it comes to the United States. And if they back down, that means the United States can come back and demand more and make more demands, which China will have to overcome, or they will have to try to bend over for the United States, which is something that I don't see China doing. I don't see China bending for the United States. Same way that I don't see the United States, I don't see Trump administration bending for China, because they have always been vocal when it comes to China, and they have always wanted a fight. with China, but they couldn't directly ask for it. And now this is a chance for them to show their muscles. So we need to see where it goes, because it is intense now. I don't know where it's gonna go and where and when is it ending. Anyway, thank you so much for watching till this far. Please do me a favor, subscribe, make sure you comment down below with your own thoughts. I'll see you on my next upload, and also please do like this video, it helps a lot. Have a fantastic one. Peace.